If you can't hear me, just let me know.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, Malaysia. My name is Eliza Camille, Bazaar Malaysia's web editor, and we're here over at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, and I'm sitting here with Thomas Wee, veteran in the fashion industry, hailing from Singapore, who's also showcasing one of his collections here tonight. Thomas, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm okay, but tired, exhausted, but very exciting.
Good, I'm glad. Now tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that, you went into retirement for 11 years and you made your comeback in 2008.
Yeah.
Tell me why you did so. That's very interesting.
Basically, after you retire, you do enjoy the little bit of peace, but when teaching is concerned, I love to teach, but sometimes it can be a bit, a strenuous, demanding. Frankly, I still love fashion.
Yep.
Because being in the fashion, as fashion lecturer, being in the fashion scene, you still are very closely in touch with fashion.
Yeah.
So, as a fashion lecturer, I have got to be well informed. I have got to be fast forward. Every year I'm dealing with a group of younger and younger students. So they have got to be able to relate to me, right? And I've got to be able to relate to them.
Yeah.
So you have got to evolve. And I enjoy that part of it. So as you grow older, the older I grew, I think the more I feel younger in terms of mentality, my energy, and of course, my taste preference. But basically, when you already have your own so-called foundation and base, you won't stray.
Yeah.
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 And I come back also because when you have retired for such a long time, the people might have heard of you. Most media has got an archive of me, but how many people have seen Thomas Wee or Thomas Wee's look or work?
Yeah.
And I don't know who coined that wonderful title for me, King of Jackets.
King of Jackets, yeah.
But do I want to do any more jackets? Of course, I do love suits. I'm more a suity person. I love
Clearly, yes.
structural things. I it's not that I don't like anything that's soft and flimsy and all that. But to me, a lady's garment is just like a man's garment. It has got to have a form rather than something drapey and all that, because I think that's not my DNA, that's not my personality.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, let the other designers do it. I like the other extreme.
Yeah.
So I came back and I did a collection of my structural things. And the media loved it. The opening night, I tell you, it was full house, and right in front row, all the medias which I've not seen for a long time, both new and old, were sitting there, and it's really heartwarming.
Yeah.
And that show rendered me 25 interviews, from TV to print to everything, and I felt really overwhelmed.
That's great, yeah.
People still give me the support.
Yeah,
After
making
so
your
many years.
comeback show and everyone, fawning over it.
And honestly, I haven't had a boutique or a shop for so many years teaching. So actually, why do I want to do a comeback? But somehow or other, okay, I just enjoy fashion so much that I just want to do a collection and just put it on the stage and self-admire.
Yeah.
But after that, there are a lot of people who say, I want to buy your collection. There were a couple of people who came out and said, I want to stock your collections and all that. So
Lovely.
you start opening markets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nowadays you don't even have to open your own shop because everything is pop-up or they, stock in multi-label stock. And this is what I think is good, because you don't have got to subject yourself to overhead so much.
Yeah.
And this is how I think a designer can survive.
Yeah.
Which I would advise a lot of young designers today, don't be afraid, but you make sure you do beautiful things, because we are all human beings. Our eyes like to look at beautiful things.
Yeah, everyone loves beautiful
And
things.
The most important thing is fashion is supposed to be luxury.
Yeah.
You don't call a designer fashion when it looks cheap. So the more you put in refining the technique, the engineering, the fabrics, and the whole form of the garment, it has got to smell designer, it has got to look expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most difficult part. And I always say, a good designer can use a cheap piece of fabric and make it look so expensive. And that's his own technical background,
Yes.
his whole, understanding. Whereas if you're not a good designer, you can use the most expensive fabric and you kill it. So that's me. What I feel is until today, after my comeback,
Mm-hmm.
I love fashion. I still want to do
Really?
it. Besides being that as my bread and butter,
Mm-hmm.
I just hope the new generation see what I see.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult.
Yeah.
When I have never been to a fashion school, and yet I've come a long way to learn and evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see young people who live in today's society, 5 years' time, they are the people that's going to make,
Yeah.
the works.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As they have got to package the new generation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of evolving, you've been in the industry for 40 years now. This is your 40th year. What are some of the trends that that you've seen have been a constant throughout, but also the trends that you wish would never have made a comeback?
Shoulder pads.
Wait, the constant or the ones that you never wish came back?
When I first started doing suits, of course that was the era of all the shoulder pads, Montana, Thierry Mugler,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But by the time I really started doing career where it was the peak of Armani, Donna Karan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I said they are still streamlined, but
Yeah.
they're not oversized. But they don't make a woman look like a rugby player, no. But after you've done that, and as so many years passes, and you start seeing designers, fashion trend getting trimmed, and getting, I would say, elegant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You begin to realize that there are things that you don't want to see again. I mean, it's really gross. But there are some designers today, the young designers, like J.W. Anderson and a lot of them, they still put broad shoulder pads.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the way they do it is very different because everything is very soft.
Yeah.
It's no more hard,
Yeah.
and that is the newness. But if you ask me, if I would do it, I say yes, but no shoulder pads. I would do drop shoulders.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
it's so chic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, what would you say your brand DNA is then?
Structural, architectural, because I am my own pattern maker.
Mm-hmm.
I love the engineering of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I think my designs comes from my technical skill. I refuse to let any pattern maker or tailor touch my things because they cannot relate. When I design, everything is here.
Yeah.
So it's just like when I tell a designer or a student, you can do a sketch, but you send to 5 different tailors, they all turn out differently. So you yourself as a designer, you must be able to interpret it from sketch to realized garment.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
So personally, I think my DNA is anything that's structured but comfortable.
Brilliant.
You, clothes garment has got to be comfortable. I design my clothes based on how I would dress a man.
Right.
A woman, come on, she can look wonderful in a white shirt.
Yeah.
Who say a white shirt is boring? Who say a pair of pants is boring?
Well, speaking of, who would you say your ideal man and woman would be for your designs? Speaking of...
Women is no problem for me because I only have one muse. Whenever I design, she's the one that really inspire me. I wish that a lot of women are like her.
And who's
I
that?
may not have the chance to dress her, but when I design, I know there are women out there like that. And I know that, especially in the coming future, there will be people who are so, I would say, worldly, to be able to discard all those glamours, all those hourglass things, and just relax,
Yeah. Well, who is your muse then?
Tilda Swinton.
Oh, great.
She's so
Oh, so
chic.
elegant. Yes.
No, she's such a handsome woman.
Handsome woman.
She wears a man's shirt, she wears a pair of pants or a gown, She don't have to wear a lot of makeup, but the moment she opens her mouth, her voice, good Lord, she's so feminine.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of woman you're designed for. She's poetic. Of course, she's articulate. And then she's artistic.
Yeah.
And yet, she's so maternal. This is the new woman. You know what I mean?
Women. Yeah.
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 Everybody would tell you, oh, I'm designing for an intelligent woman. Come on, who is not intelligent out there nowadays? Of course. But what kind of intelligent woman you're talking about? You know, we're talking about a woman who is self-assured. She don't need a man to tell her what to wear.
That's right. I agree. Should never let
You know,
that happen.
I don't want whether you want me to review this, but as a boutique, I mean, when I have my boutique, when I always happen to send in my shop, it really irks me when I see this couple that comes in, and this lady will pick up the dress, put it in front of her, or go into the fitting room, come out and ask the boy, do you like it or not? It's such a, I felt like, why are you so insecure?
Wow.
You have got to know what you like. You know,
Yeah.
you don't need your boyfriend to tell you what he likes.
Well, you know, maybe she's dressing for him for that certain occasion, something special. But then again, I know exactly what you mean.
Then again, we're talking about women who is intelligent, women who really knows what they want.
Yeah.
You know, as I say, what's wrong with wearing your boyfriend's white shirt, you know, and a nice pair of men's pants?
Yeah, I love wearing men's
Yeah.
jeans. Those are
You see, it's just this chic, you know. I always say, a white shirt is so versatile. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me telling you. In the morning, you wear the white shirt, take a dog for a walk in the same white shirt. In the afternoon, you wear it out for lunch or the supermarket in your jeans. You know, in the late afternoon, you can still wear that shirt with a nice printed floral skirt and go and have tea with the girls.
yeah.
And then in the evening, especially Friday and Saturday, you wear the white shirt with a velvet skirt or a sequin pair of pants and go for
Ready
your
for a
evening
night
tea.
out. Yeah.
So what's wrong with
Ready
that
to go
white shirt?
dancing.
Right.
Yeah.
You see? So to me, it's just a matter of how you style yourself, from hair to accessories to the way you wear your white shirt. In the morning, you button up. In the evening, you just release that 5 buttons and just show a black lingerie inside. Kill it.
Scandalous.
You know, right?
Yeah,
You just have got to know how to make it work.
Yes. Jinx on that. Okay, so tell me, hailing from Singapore, what are the notable differences between Singaporean and Malaysian fashion, would you say?
It's very difficult to say because, well, I can't say that Singapore has progressed a lot. Neither have they so-called, you know, stayed stagnant. But the Malaysian designers here has got the support of your market here. Whereas in Singapore, our so-called consumers, they go for brands. They go for whatever is in the departmental stores.
Right.
So the designers themselves finds that, you know, there's no point of designing because the demand is so small. And anyway, Singapore is so small. So the market is small. Whereas here, just Kuala Lumpur alone, I can see the traffic. You know, when you walk into the mall, people still buy. You know, and of course, you do have that group of people who are willing to pay for nice clothes. And this is what fashion is all about. People must be willing to depart their money to make sure they are nicely packaged. And I know the Malaysians believe in that. A lot of Singaporean women don't believe in that.
I see.
You see, there's a big joke because they used to write for her, off record.
Yeah.
And they always ask me a question. I said, what do you think of Singapore women's way of dressing? I said, from Monday to Friday, they are impeccably dressed for work in the office, especially boardroom women. But on Saturday and Sunday, they exchange wardrobe with their Filipino maids.
Oh my god. That can't be off the record because it's live.
Yes,
but,
actually, I've always been very evil because that's the truth, you know, because you
That's
see
okay,
them,
we're in Malaysia. It's
you
fine.
see them walking around in the malls on Saturday with short Bermuda cut-offs, moccasins, their boyfriend or husband's t-shirt with a backpack and a tub of yummy yogurt, and they walk around. Yes or no? I'm sure you see that.
I cannot deny this statement.
But on
I'm
the
hardly
other,
in
no,
Singapore, so I don't know.
Yeah, but on the other hand, sometimes it's very inspiring. Because at least you know that she's buying Monday to Friday, and she gets so sick of so-called packaging herself up for 5 days.
Wants
and
to
then
relax.
But let me tell you why she wears like that on Friday and Saturdays. It's because she cannot find anything to wear. And that would stimulate a lot of young designers to come out with a line of clothes to cater to these women.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of ready-to-wear brands actually are doing very well, just selling T-shirts. But it has got to be really chic.
Yeah.
And this is what I believe. You have got to make the economy well.
Mm-hmm.
And designers, you are given choice to do top end. How many can do couture? But then you do demi-couture, you do ready-to-wear, and then you filter down to do run-of-the-mill.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money there.
Yeah.
But you have got to know how to make it.
Absolutely.
Because you have got to have the stamina.
Yeah.
To be a good designer, it's all this thing about stamina. How long can you be a good designer? How long can you hold the press's attention? The media, we know that very well there's a lot of high turnover.
Yeah.
Whether
that's right.
it's today's influencer, the bloggers, or those in print and all that. But you have got to make sure that you are so good, you are evolving, you have a strong signature in your work that people want to come and see.
Mm-hmm.
And then the consumer out there will be your constant follower.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, evident, also coming from you making your comeback and everything. So basically, you're spectacular.
No. I love fashion, that's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why I
course.
come back or don't come back and all that, but it's just that you have got that, passion in you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I always advise young students that first thing I ask, do you want to become a designer? They must tell me yes. And moreover, I want to see the passion. To being a fashion designer, you may not make money. Most of the time, you've got to tighten your belts.
Yeah.
You stay hungry. But it's how badly you want it, right? And then one day you'll make it.
Amazing.
Yes, go ahead and enter for Young Designers Contest because that's the only platform.
Yeah.
And once you get in, do something about it. Because there are a lot of times, a lot of young designers enter a contest and after 2 years you don't hear of them. Why?
Gotta stay hungry, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they say, I want to find a stable job. And that's very sad.
Wow.
But you never know. I always say, there are so many doors there. They are really so-called not locked. So it's up to you whether you want to push.
Absolutely.
And the door will open.
Yeah.
But
that's
you
great
have also
advice.
got to have your correct merchandise.
Sure.
You go around knocking on doors as a salesman.
Yeah.
Your product, your commodity has got to be impressive.
Absolutely.
If not, nobody buys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question for you today. What can we expect from your show happening tonight at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week? Give me a little sneak peek.
Well, it's still my signature, my DNA, my Orientalism. This collection, as I said, is called Crossing. It's about crossing borders.
Lovely.
Okay. And it's definitely the Far East here, from China, Japan, Korea. Touches and images and elements, but not in the face. You will never find me doing a Mandarin collar thing or a kabaya or anything because I never bastardize a beautiful national costume. But I always steal the little elements to make it look ultra modern.
I love
This is so chic.
Love it. Yeah.
I always said to the young designers, I think I felt so sad that all our Asian heritage, culture, elements has been stolen by the European designers and do it so beautiful, and whereas our Asian designer here everybody is aping the West.
Yeah.
They follow trends.
Yeah.
When spring, summer, fall, winter runway show comes, they will go and search
Yeah.
and they're going to look.
And use that as inspiration when you
But
have
then on the other
inspiration right
hand,
here.
You know, on the other hand, you look at some of the designers, if I have to name Dries Van Noten, God, he took the batik from Indonesia and make it look so beautiful. He took the Chinese Ming Emperor's robe and make it into a man's shirt. I think that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And this is what I feel a lot of young designers, they should learn how to rejuvenate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see your show tonight.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is Thomas Wee, and I'm Eliza Camille. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Right.
Thank you.
I do a lot of